Well, it's just after 8 a.m. on a Saturday morning. I think it's March 5th. And I'm going to do something different today. Well, today is a first for me. I don't have a video done for this week. Well, that's happened before. But I thought, what the heck? Why not just try to make a day in the life of video, or a vlog, if you will. I got a lot to do today. It's supposed to be the first really nice day of the spring 2022, and well, I just thought I'd take you along and see what we can get done. I probably won't get it all done, but you're gonna find out. Stick around if you want to check it out.
Dig Drive DIY.
Seems like there's a heck of an animal up there. What's up there, birds? Who's up there? It's a raccoon. Hey, bud. Hey! Hey! Get out of here! Hey! Hey! Get! Oh, that's cool. Down inside the wall. We're gonna have to try to evict our friend Mr. Raccoon there. The raccoons tend to get in there, into that wall. I don't know how different generations of raccoons come back and find the same place, but they always end up in that wall of the wood lean-to there. So I'll have to set out the live trap and see if we can relocate him. But first thing I got to do today, I brought old Brutus back for my brothers that had been there since we worked on his building way back last fall. Somebody wants to borrow the tractor so they can install their own dog fence, so I'm going to get that all switched around so they can take it. So I got a friend of mine that's coming over to get Brutus here. The old 316 that's got a good engine. See, I need more of this. I need more practice just talking to the camera off the cuff. So that's one of the other reasons why I wanted to do this today. I'm not always fluid. He's gonna put in his own dog fence. I really don't have time to do it, but I told him he could borrow the tractor. Well, some of you here obviously already know Brutus. Brutus is my little 316. It's got a 25 horsepower Robin engine in it. And the plan is yet this winter, spring, to yank the engine out of this tractor and combine it with one of the other ones I have to make one good, reliable tractor. So I think my buddy's showing up to get this. Hey, Ray. How's it going?
Oh, just a fun Saturday so far.
Just that valve and the
Here's a list of stuff that.
The faucet in the garage.
Here's a list of stuff that we could do.
Okay. They need some air in the tires.
The tires need some air.
Flat tires?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Okay, let's pump up some tires.
Oh yeah.
What?
Even
Let's
I
see.
can squeeze them.
Can you squeeze yours? Is yours
My
flat?
tires are also very worn.
Oh, yours are flat. Okay, let's get some air. How do we get some air?
That's loud. I don't like that.
Yeah.
I prefer Daddy doing it. Not
Off they go.
Thanks for coming to the bike shop.
What?
Thanks for coming to the bike shop.
You think pumpkin and donuts will be fun?
One hug. I guess we gotta try to crack open a rock.
I think it's
You got your goggles on? Why? Do you think this is some kind of special rock?
yeah, it has sparkles on the other side. I'm scared I don't want to hit it. Whoa. That's pretty. Sparkly. Looks like an Oreo McFlurry. It's so pretty. Told you it had something. It's like a... Look at that.
It's like made out of cake.
I kind of want to eat it.
Well, I'd say you're successful on that project.
I told you.
Now on to the next thing. So probably the most complicated thing that I wanted to try to tackle today was this leaking ball valve. This is the drain pipe for our sump pump. We had a big rain, and what happens is normally the sump pump pumps up through this pipe and goes out through the ground around our septic tank and into a field tile. And for the most part that works fine and I don't have to mess with it. But in the event that we get a lot of rain and the water in the ditch comes up, this gets a bunch of head pressure against it, and we're forcing the pump to pump against that water pressure that's in the ground. So in that event, I close this valve so that it can't go out through the ground, and then that forces the water up out of this pipe out on top of the ground. I've got a pipe buried really shallow, and that's like our failover safe method to get rid of sump pump water. But now this valve is leaking, and I've got it all glued into place. It's leaking here, it's dripping. You can see it dripping when it's off, and it leaks even worse when it's open. That sucker leak. That's why we're replacing it. It's leaking out of the center. Man, frustrating. It doesn't leak as bad when it's off. So I'm going to try to change out this valve with a new one. And this one's got threads on it. I'm going to redo this so that if the valve would fail again like this one has, I can change it out without cutting all the pipes. But for this time, I'm going to have to cut all these pipes out. Well, I have lots of spare fittings and pieces and parts, but I'm missing glue because all the glue that I had is all dried up, and I'm missing this Y right here. So now I'm going to be on a mission to get a Y, and I need some glue. How's come every time I have tons of cans of glue, but they're all dried up. The primer's good, but the glue is always ruined. I think there's some spare plumbing parts over at the neighbor's. He's probably got glue and the fitting I need, so I just need to ride over there. You guys, you think I can hitch a ride over to the neighbor's?
Yep.
Okay, let's go.
Where would you like to go, sir?
Down that way. Okay. Let's go. We're gonna go right there. Well, we found what we needed from the neighbors. I got a Y. I got some glue. Now, Eva, you gotta get us back home. Then we'll start cutting apart the plumbing. Okay, I'm gonna take this pipe apart here and let the water drain out. And then I don't want the pumps to run, so I'm going to unplug both pumps. This is probably going to make a mess. Oh, man. It's draining all the water that's in the pipe above me here. Oh, that's one way to do it. What I tend to do sometimes is I overthink this stuff. I'll sit here and I'll process and think through all the different scenarios and ways that I could do it. And sometimes the best approach is just to get started, cut into it, and then the thing will figure itself out as you go. That's what I need to do, because I've spent an hour thinking about it and what the best idea is and my lengths and measurements, and if I just cut it, then I'll have to do it. Phone's ringing again. So I was going to use this valve, this threaded valve, and then a union. You could take that apart and replace the valve if it fails again, but I think that might be overkill. I don't know. I think I'm just going to use some fern cones and I'll be able to take the new valve apart. I've always wanted a cordless Sawzall, but I've just never committed. I guess I gotta plug this one in. Built the whole house with this one though. Menards, caution, may leak after 10 years. Time for lunch. I want to get outside today though. I'll be back for you in a minute.
Hi,
Hello. Time for lunch?
Dad.
Oh.
You see my tree out there?
Lunch was good. Thank you for lunch. Back to the basement. Okay, gonna replace the valve, put in a couple fern cones so that I can get it all apart if it happens again. And I also want to replace the check valve for this 1.5 inch line too, because it was acting fishy the last time. So I went and got a better PVC check valve for that. So that's in the works too. Let's get this done so we can get outside. These are expensive. So I just decided to go with the fern cones. I can take it apart there if I need to replace that valve, plus I can just unscrew these and reuse these pieces. So if the ball valve fails, all I'll need to replace is the ball valve itself. New check valve here, because this one here was starting to fail. Every once in a while it would get caught in there. The flapper is deteriorating. So what I've found is the check valves can fail, and I've had replaced multiple ones. The ones with the little rubber flap on the inside are terrible. Don't buy those. Get a really good check valve. This one's got a spring in it and a PVC disc, and I'm sure it can fail. The spring can likely fail, but I think these hold up a lot longer because I put in that big one and it's went a long time. So now everything is serviceable. I can get the pumps out easily by removing fern cones. I can get the check valves out easily by removing fern cones. And I can remove that valve if I have to. So open up this valve. Okay, so now the water can go out. And I'm going to let this little pump run once. We'll try that little pump that's going out to 1.5 inch line because it's my backup pump. We'll see how it does. It's running. So it's pumping out. We got any leaks? Shut off quickly. No leaks that I see yet. So I have two different sump pumps and they're on two separate circuits. So if I would have a breaker fail, I still have a backup pump. If one pump fails, then the other one should take over. So let's go ahead and try that. That's working. Everything sounds nice and quiet. Everything looks dry. I've cut it apart 2 times, and now I've got it all put back together with fern cones. So that took way longer than what I'd hoped. We're burning daylight, nice daylight out there, so it's time to get outside, do something else. Nice job! You've been working on it for a while, haven't you?
There's gloves up on my bike, I think. That's where we parked. Right.
Well, while I was busy redoing that valve in the basement, Kara was up here working on a Christmas present that we had gotten the girls. Pitching machine. Nice job putting it together.
I didn't get what this is for. Oh, okay. You can only put one ball in it. Once we get rid of those boxes.
These weren't on the list.
Oh.
Mommy, can we do the golf cart? Mommy, you struck my hand. Well, but Daddy.
Well, we're gonna try. Let's try the pitching machine and the new net that we just put together.
Okay.
All right. So check this out. We were outside setting up the net and the pitching machine. We both smelled gas. I just had this gas tank filled up yesterday when it was cold, and today it's gotten warm and the gas is expanding, and it was literally just dripping out of the vent all over the side. So I'm going to take a little bit off the top, try to save some of my $4 gas. Hopefully I don't lose any more gas. Oh, the tractor's back. There you go. You're stepping out and you turn your whole body away. You gotta step. Oh. 3. There you go.
Good. Woo!
I think the pitching machine and the nets and stuff. So let's take the side down.
And we'll probably just put the pitching machine in there with it, right?
I mean, we never would have got it in height-wise. Okay, on to the next thing. All right, so now we're headed over to the neighbors. The girls are gonna hang out and play with the neighbor girl for a little bit.
And her brothers, I guess, if they're there.
And I'm gonna go over and do a little job estimate for a friend of mine that has a little driveway expansion they want to do. So we're gonna go check out that. Gonna go bid some job. Gonna go bid a job. I don't typically do that too often, so.
Can I roll down the window? Yeah.
Goodbye, children. Well, I just dropped the girls off over at the neighbor's house so they could hang out for a little bit. Now I'm headed over to look at this job and all right, just got done scoping out that job. I think that's going to be a mini excavator job. I'm going to have to ask my father-in-law if I can borrow the mini again. So, but speaking of mini, it's been over at the wood yard since we used the firewood processor. So I'm going to do that next. I'm going to go grab the dump truck and hook up the trailer and go get the mini. Job estimate. Got it?
Yeah.
George! Holy cow. Does it fit? Not gonna fit.
Are you there?
One shelf moved.
Woo!
That wasn't on the list either. It's a little after 5 o'clock. This is the way the days usually end up. But... all right, let's go find the mini. quick change of plans. I actually think the truck is running out of fuel, which could be indicated by the fuel gauge. It felt like it sputtered a little bit. I haven't left the house with it in months, and I got a little diesel fuel here back at the house I'm going to throw in it. I also need to get the jump pack for the mini excavator and the keys. So I left totally unprepared. Fuel, jump pack, keys. We're going to try again to go get the excavator. About supper time. Well, let's see if this old girl will start. It usually starts up. I put a new battery in it recently, so hopefully it will start. I like the looks of that. Oh yeah. Well, it started right up, but it smells like mice in here. How do you keep mice out of equipment when it sits over time? Anybody got any good ideas for keeping mice out of the equipment when it sits over time? Because they like it in the mini excavator. Finally loaded up and on my way over to my father-in-law's. I want to get this excavator dropped off, park the truck, see if there's any time left for anything else after supper. He needs to go under the knife too. I know there's a lot of people asking and waiting to find out when I'm going to do the transplant from Brutus to Bill and combine the two, and it's still on the list. But I got other stuff on the list that Mama thinks is a higher priority. One of these days. Let's go see what's for supper. Dinner? What do you call it? What's your evening meal? About 7 o'clock. Eva, are you having sushi?
Sushi. Yummy.
Nachos. I'm going to have a little bit of
Everything.
All right. Time to eat. A little bit of Little House on the Prairie for a Saturday night dinner.
Because we started the series a while ago, but we never finished it.
No, we haven't finished it. So we're going to see if we can catch up on Little House on the Prairie. All right. Suits me. Well, just after 9 o'clock, got supper all done, watched 2 episodes of Little House on the Prairie, got the girls tucked into bed. So now's the time when Dad goes out to the shop, and I'll either work on something, try to get something done. So tonight I have one more thing I wanted to get done. It's not a big project, but it's been bothering me. And then I got to edit this video. We'll see if we can catch our little furry friend from this morning. He's probably not in there now, but he'll be back. Well, we didn't use near the firewood today, but my day is still ending the way it started here at the stove. But that's okay. Spring's on its way, and I'll get 6 months off of the stove. 6 months on, 6 months off. But this is a typical Saturday for me. I start out with a list of things I'd like to get done, and get done about this much of it. And I would venture to guess that most folks are in kind of the same boat. But even when you don't get done everything that you wanted to, there's always a lot of things that you would rather do. And that's how today wound up. If you're still here, I want to thank you so much for hanging with me. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm not likely to do this all the time, but let me know what you think. How can I improve? I'm always looking for insight into how you think I can make the videos better. So, got lots of ideas coming up, lots of thoughts and project ideas, just trying to sort out the time to get it all done. But anyway, I want to thank you so much for clicking on this video. If I'm lucky, I'll see you in the next one. Thanks so much for watching. Take care. Okay, just a little update. It's 4:30 in the morning. I've been editing since about 9:30 p.m. I'm not going to make it. I'm running out of steam, getting tired. I guess I'm going to have another late video.